By the end of the 19th century, the Ottoman Empire was no longer what it used to be. Debts had increased, uprisings had grown, and territories in the Balkans were being lost one by one. Especially the Russo-Turkish War of 1877 to 78 completely changed the balance in the region. Many Balkan states gained independence, but this time a new tension began to emerge among the great powers. With the Treaty of Berlin, Russian influence was limited and Macedonia was returned to Ottoman control. However, no one was satisfied with this decision. In reality, the problem was not solved. It was only postponed for a while. By the 1900s, things became even more complicated. In 1908, the Young Turk Revolution took place, aiming to restore and strengthen the empire. But on the contrary, the crises grew even deeper. Austria-Hungary annexed Bosnia, Bulgaria declared independence, and uprisings broke out in Albania and Crete. The Balkans had turned into a ring of fire. In this environment, Italy also seized the opportunity and attacked the Ottoman territories in Libya. The other states did not strongly oppose this move. In other words, things were no longer the same for the Ottoman Empire. These developments pushed the Balkan states into action. Serbia and Bulgaria came together to discuss how to divide Macedonia. Soon after, Greece and Montenegro joined them, and the Balkan League was formed. However, there was an important detail. Bulgaria was overconfident. It had a strong army and believed it could secure the most valuable territories. Greece, on the other hand, despite having a weaker land force, had a very critical advantage, a powerful navy. And this made it extremely difficult for the Ottomans to send troops by sea, and inevitably the war began. On October 8, 1912, Montenegro acted early and launched an attack. Soon after, the other members of the alliance joined the war, and the First Balkan War officially began. Although the Ottoman Empire still appeared strong statistically, the reality was different. A significant portion of its European population could not be conscripted. The transportation infrastructure was weak, and sea routes were highly risky due to the Greek navy. Moreover, a large part of the army was still engaged in the war in Libya. In contrast, the Balkan League was well prepared. In Thrace, Bulgarian forces advanced rapidly. In the battles of Kirk-Kilisse and Lule-Burgas, the Ottoman army was forced to retreat. Eventually, they withdrew to the Katalka line, just outside Istanbul. The Bulgarians reached this point, but were stopped there. Both Ottoman resistance and diseases prevented their further advance. On another front, the Serbs defeated the Ottomans at Kumanovo and took control of Macedonia. The Greeks moved directly toward Salonika and captured the city on November 8th. This was a major blow for the Ottomans, as their connection in the Balkans was almost completely cut off. But the war was not only fought on the battlefield. Civilians also suffered greatly, and hundreds of thousands of refugees were arriving in Istanbul. The city was facing a serious crisis. In a short time, the Ottomans had lost most of their territories in Europe. On November 28, 1912, Albania declared independence, and on May 30, 1913, the Treaty of London was signed. The Ottoman Empire now only had a small area around Istanbul in Europe. The war was over. But in reality, everything was just beginning, because this time the Balkan states could not agree. on how to divide the lands they had gained, and so the spark of a new war had already been ignited.